For those of you who haven't noticed, okay, so we're on part 3. This is, as you can see, this is my football jersey, my favorite football jersey. Well, the only football jersey I have, but my favorite because it's not for an actual football team. This is a symbol that you'll find on G-Force. See, on the back, G-Force 78, 1978, the year that the Battle of the Planets, aka Gatchaman Science Ninja Team back in Japan, which is what it was called, premiered. Huge fan of that cartoon. Even though it's kind of lame sometimes, but it's just, it's a childhood thing. So anyway, getting back to the actual comics for this week. Then we had Lone Ranger and Tonto Annual 4. Now, this is a comic that has just simply not gotten its due. There are a lot of really high-profile comics out there, and if Jerry Bruckheimer for the last I don't know how many years has been talking about, okay, we're gonna make he's gonna make a Lone Ranger film. Apparently, they already have Johnny Depp cast as Tonto, which I think is just really weird. Why they couldn't get an actual, Native American to play him is weird to me. But whatever, I guess they need that big star, and I think if a lot of people have been talking about Nathan Fillion as playing John Reed or playing the Lone Ranger. That would be really cool, but I don't know if it would fit this particular story, because this is about a young, if they're going to adapt the comic, I should say, because this is about a young John Reed, basically when Lone Ranger is first starting out. But Lone Ranger and Tonto, it's just a Lone Ranger comic. Brett Matthews, who's been very much studying at the Whedon School of comic book writing. He pulls off some really, really interesting and really awesome stuff in this comic. The characters are really well fleshed out. There are things that just you don't see coming. And the annuals have been a real joy to read, because they are stories that are really off. They're side stories to what's happening in the linear progression of the comic. Which is always, which is pretty much the purpose of an annual anyway, is to get you off track for a little while and see what else these people have been doing, these characters have been doing. So, but this annual, no surprise, it's awesome. And this is, I think it's co-written, actually. It's Brett Matthews and Neil Turitz, who I have no idea who it is. The art in here is really excellent, as it normally is. Lone Ranger is it's a terrific comic. It, like I said, it just hasn't gotten the attention that it really has deserved. And obviously, having the John Cassaday covers is not hurting it. Makes it a lot more attractive on the rack. So that's again, an excellent read. And if you haven't been picking up Lone Ranger, go back and get the first trades. They're out. They're great. Brett Matthews, he co-wrote the Serenity, at least 2 of the Serenity comics for Dark Horse. So he knows, he's kind of got that Old West feel down, and definitely got the speak down too. Also coming out this week, Ultimate Avengers 3 number 5. Again, Millar just going totally berserk with the Ultimate Avengers. Now, Ultimate Avengers in the Ultimate Universe, they're the Black Ops team, as opposed to the Ultimates themselves. They are very much, they're the faces of that universe. Ultimate Avengers has gone from, it started out really cool with the illegitimate son of Steve Rogers being the Red Skull. That was a really cool idea. And then the second one, again, that was totally forgettable because I don't even remember what it was about. Although I don't think I'm going to forget Ultimate Avengers 3 too soon, because it's really fucking bizarre. Because basically, they're just turning superheroes into vampires left and right, and Blade is involved, the Ultimate Universe Blade, and that's just getting wacky. So again, if you're into a really bizarre read from Mark Millar, and great art by Steve Dillon, because he's always great, pick it up. It's really, you could give or take it, but I still have it in my pull box. And we also have this week Widowmaker #2. Now this, it's Dwayne Straczynski, who I've enjoyed his writing since I first saw it in when he took over from Brubaker and Fraction on Iron Fist. I've liked his stuff. This is a really fascinating read. This is good old-fashioned like spy shit. It's kind of like Queen and Country with superheroes. It's basically, the plot of it being, that Ronin, who was originally Echo from Daredevil when Bendis was writing it, and then Clint Barton took up the mantle of Ronin for a while before he became Hawkeye again. Ronin has been killing spies, so they send Hawkeye, Mockingbird, and Black Widow. So him and two kind of former current lovers. Not really sure what's going on with him and Mockingbird right now, because I haven't been reading too much about them. But that's just a really interesting and really well drawn read, because it's definitely off the beaten path for these characters, I think. At least for Hawkeye, Black Widow and Mockingbird, they're spies and S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, so this is old hat from them. But it's just this really cool read. Definitely suggest that you start picking it up. Go back to the first issue, because this is only the second one, so check it out. It's definitely worth it. Then we got another big one this week, which is Flash #8. Jeff Johns' Flash. This is the Reverse Flash Rebirth tale, which is a really mind-scrambling read. I haven't even fully absorbed it yet. I think I'm going to need to read it at least once more to really get everything out of it, because it shows Eobard Thawne, or Thawne, however you pronounce his name, Eobard Thawne, the Professor Zoom, the Reverse Flash, and kind of his origins, and how he kept manipulating the time stream in order to get what he wanted, which was to be the Flash. And of course, he ends up being the exact opposite. He is the Reverse Flash. He's the evil version. He's the evil speedster. He's a great villain, Eobard Thawne, as opposed to Hunter Zolomon, who I thought was just kind of lame as a Reverse Flash. Because you can't top the original. When you make a character like that, you just can't top the original. So, again, it's a very interesting read, but I just have to really absorb it. And then there is What If #200, which is basically what if, the Siege storyline. Basically, what if the heroes lost the siege on Asgard. It's really, it's definitely, it's a quote-unquote extinction level event, where the Void basically takes over the Sentry completely, and since there are no heroes left to stop him, he just destroys the entire world. So, spoiler alert. But what if this was a hit? Like I talked about last time we were discussing What If comics, they're either hit or miss. This was a hit. Definitely check it out. It's got a cool side story that was written by Stan the Man himself, so you can't miss that. It's got a reprint of an old Frank Miller What If, which is what if Elektra had lived. Okay, that's it for the Shadow Gallery this week. Pick up the comics I talked about. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.